You might be wondering, Raja is not here. Our wonderful founder and faculty director, Raja, is in Thailand at the moment. He is overseas. His time zone, it is 3 a.m. He was with us for the first two sessions. Those recordings are up on our YouTube channel. Please comment, like, subscribe. If you're a Gen Z on this chat, you understand what that means. Also, everyone must understand what that means. We all live in the YouTube world now. But yes, please feel free to go back, watch those recordings. I was also there, so you can't miss me. But those are great talks. Raja did a really good job. He had an excellent Q&A session in the first chat. So if you want to maybe just watch that Q&A, there were excellent questions that were asked. And we went into more depth in the second call, just because we had more details as we get closer to the March 1st application date. And I will do my best today to fill the giant shoes left behind by Raja, but I'm 2 calls in. I think I can do a good job for today. Very nice. Please, please, please ask your questions to the entire chat. It's easier. I can't answer them all. And we've got lovely people on here. Also, if you're a student or a returning SIP intern, please feel free to speak up, help out on the chat. You know, just you guys are experts too, so just feel free to participate. So we'll jump right in. We are going to be talking about the science internship program today. We are excited to be back in person, running as a hybrid state, this summer. Okay, quick before we start. This call will be recorded. Please mute your microphone. We did introductions, and we'll cover what is the SIP program, how do research projects work, what is the timeline, what to expect for 2023, and then we'll have a Q&A session at the end. Okay, perfect. What is SIP? SIP is a summer-long 10-week program. The first 2 weeks are research prep weeks. These are going to be fully remote. And then the 8 weeks, the research will start. We have our opening day on Sunday, June 25th. Academic research will start the following day, Monday, June 26th, and will last until August 18th. And then we have our final presentation day on August 19th, which is a Saturday. This is a research internship program for high school students, predominantly in STEM fields, as well as social sciences and arts. 2021 was the first year we included STEAM research offerings. We have high school students, which will be SIP interns, paired with UCSC PhD students, professors, and post-PhD researchers in projects of 3 or more, where they mentor these high school students and actively participate in their cutting-edge research. These research projects are real. They are not made up. We are not repeating old research or projects that have been repeated in the past. What they are working on right now is changing as we speak. We have many mentors. Many mentors have submitted their research applications, their mentor applications, but it's an ongoing process, and we are working on getting these posted on our website, but this is all going on a rolling basis. We will have something concrete to look at when the application opens on March 1st, but a good sense would be to look at the 2022-2021 projects, and we'll get to that as we move along. But SIP is an opportunity for wider exposure to topics in current research, academic enrichment, and college prep. And this is all embedded into the program during the internship day, as well as extracurricular and social opportunities for interns. So categories of STEM activities. What does SIP encapsulate, essentially? Access, enrichment, exposure, research. This is just skills building. Controlled projects, a controlled setting. These fields can be very broad, but having dedicated and focused projects where one is really diving deep into a specific detail or idea or field, as opposed to being on the outside in, but at the same time, open-ended research projects. Just mentoring by professional researchers. Students will be going through trial and error and learning from failure. It's a great place to do it over the summer at UC Santa Cruz remotely, if one chooses to participate remotely. But again, working with peers, working with high school students, their same age, getting a sense of academic research at a high school level to, do I like this subject? Do I want to continue? Is this something that's interesting to me? Or, okay, I tried it, I didn't like it. Maybe I want to try this program. Maybe seeing what other students are working on. Just being that close to it and being able to experience it for yourself. The essence of SIP. We really, really, really focus on critical thinking in the context of closely mentored, open-ended, real-world research projects. If I have my way, we'll make a shirt and have that on the shirt. We might have a pillow, but okay, all jokes aside, really focusing on critical thinking, that's a skill that we all strive for, and just really going at it from a very young age and having high school students work alongside people that are doing this every single day, and that learning through osmosis and being able to do it being able to actually do it is very fundamental. Growth over the last 14 years of SIP. We are embarking on the 15th year of SIP. Woo! Get our driver's permit this year, almost ready to drive. We started off with 3 students. Raja likes to really tell the story. It's his founding story, right? His daughter was one of the 3 students. This was just something he was actually forced into. He works at the university. His daughter and a couple of her friends are at high school. Some administration made the obvious connection. They're like, hey, it's the summertime. Can your daughter and a couple kids go with you to the university and kind of work on what you're working on? And Raja, being the guy he is like, yeah, let's do it. And just that was the basis of the program, having young people see and help and work on and be able to learn from people that are doing what they do on an everyday basis, right? And the time is having this opportunity, Raja being able to provide it, we were able to scale it 15 interns the next year, 29 the next year. In 2020, we had 225 people. There's a big growth. There's a big difference from 2019, 180 in-person interns. That was the last in-person year. And then expanding it, having it fully remote, being able to expand online, internationally, people from outside the Bay Area, people from outside California, massive growth from 2020 to 2021, 313 students. And then 2021, 2022, the year of Zoom fatigue, we grew to 326. We continued as a fully remote program as opposed to being hybrid last year, but we're excited to be hybrid this year. The number we're aiming for is 400 students this year, completely hybrid. If you want to be in person, be in person. The dorms are open. If you want to be online, you can be online. You can participate from anywhere in the world. And also you have the choice to a couple weeks online, a couple weeks in person, back and forth. Perfect. We'll get to that. Gender and diversity. Roughly a third of all SIP interns have overcome serious societal obstacles coming from backgrounds with underrepresented ethnicity, first-generation college applicants, and low-income households. We have a 3-to-2 female to male ratio. So great representation all around. Overall statistics over the last 14 years of SIP, we've had 365 total high schools represented. There have been 1,831 high school students that have participated. These have been 1,537 total, like a total of 1,537 different high school students, but we've had instances of interns repeating and coming back to SIP. So when you add that together, that's how you get the number of 1,831. And we're very excited for year number 15. This is a list of 365 high schools that have been represented in SIP. Raja goes into this all the time, but I'll do my best to impersonate him. The black schools, the schools that are listed in the color black in the font are schools from California that are within California. Schools that are in the blue font, these are schools that are in the United States but outside of California. And schools that are in the red font, these are international schools. This just gets smaller and smaller every year, and we're very excited. Ah, that's a good question. All right, let's take a quick break and go through these questions. I think my child may be starting school. Yes, we'll get to that. We're going to save the good things to the end. What is the acceptance rate? The acceptance rate, let's say last year we had 1,900 applicants and we gave out 400 admission offers and we had a total of 326 students participate in SIP. Do we have any good math in the crowd? That's the number. My daughter has a sensitivity to sounds. So affirmative. Would you think that would be possible? Yes, we'll get to that in dorming and we will have all that situated. We love returning siblings. Not siblings. Siblings are siblings that are of SIP families that have seen their siblings participate in SIP and want to do the same thing. But yes, as a returning SIP intern, we love to have you. Okay, let's talk about research project information. What about twins? Does this reduce their chances? We actually have had twins in the past, and they both got in, and they were both wonderful to work with. And they both needed laptops, which we lent them for the summer. So that's how I remember them. But no. We view every application individually, and it's a fair application for everybody. We want people to participate. We want people to put their best effort in. We want people to be interested in the projects that we offer. And we're going to try our best to admit each and every student that we can. And also provide scholarships if possible and if needed. How long is the program per day? We'll get to that, Ethan, but I can just say 6 hours. Mentors and interns per project. So each project will have 1 to 2 mentors, either primary mentor, secondary mentor. There will be a faculty advisor, PhD students, most PhD researchers, professors. Each project will have a minimum of 3 interns. This helps just to avoid any uncomfortable one-on-one situations, but they can grow up. They can go up to, many projects have 4 or 5. Some of the bigger projects have 6 or 8. I think Raja's planning on doing a project this year with 10 interns. So that's going to be fun. And interns, in order to participate under UC Santa Cruz policy, they must be 14 years of age or older when the program starts. So if your birthday's on June 26th, 2020, if you turn 14 by June 26th, you are good to go. Yes. SIP spans 21 subject areas under UC Santa Cruz, many STEM subject areas, as well as expanding to STEAM, arts, culture, STEM, economics, everything from anthropology to sociology. This is an example of a project description. So if my lovely colleagues could input some links to the 2022 or 2021 research projects. The 2023 page is still under construction. That should be live at the end of this week or early next week, but definitely by the time the SIP application is open next Wednesday. But what you would see, so for example, this is an example of a computer science and computer engineering project. The project code is CSE01. The title is Generative Adversarial Networks. The primary mentor is Syed Kargar, faculty advisor, Professor Faisal Nawab. This is a remote, this was fully remote online. This was a 2021 project. There were four interns that could participate. Then you'd see a project description. You'll see a couple of tasks. You'll see required skills, skills that they will acquire, program number, the weeks, and then the availability. Everything was remote last year, so this year we'll really be able to see week by week and try to match those. Another example, this is an astronomy and astrophysics project code AST01. title, What Happens Around Supermassive Black Holes. Primary mentor, Dr. Martin Gaskell. He's a 10-time, he's coming back for his 10th year with SIP. We all love him. He's got great stories. You'll see him on Zoom in his backyard. There are chickens running around. Lovely guy. Very lucky to have him. Again, this was a remote project. 3 interns took part of this project with Dr. Martin Gaskell. This was a project description, tasks, required skills that they will acquire, a URL, so you can find out a little bit more about Dr. Martin, and then again, availability, scheduling. SIP program details. What to expect in 2023? A hybrid, remote or in-person program. So again, students, you have the choice. You can participate. Students and parents, you have the choice. You may participate 100% in person, 100% online, or some combination of the two. We understand the pandemic changed everything. Zoom has changed everything. You don't have to be in person for everything. If you want to be, we're back this year. So we are very excited about that. But if you want to continue online, or the couple weeks you like to be on campus, be in the dorms, a couple weeks you like to be back at home, it is the summertime, go back and forth. There are shuttle services. If you want to be there 5 days a week, be home on the weekends, everything is possible. The time, we had an excellent question about time. Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. Essentially, you want to dedicate 6 hours per day. So it would be a full day, not a full working day. That's 8 hours, but like 6 hours. Each mentor will set their own schedule. This will be in coordination with their interns, what works best. If somebody's coming from an international time zone, factor that in as well. Mentors will get down to a time that works for everybody. And essentially, interns are self-starters. Interns must prioritize their research and be careful to minimize and balance any other summer commitments. Must participate in their internship at least 6 out of the 8 active research weeks. This was a question I think I saw. There are family vacations. As long as interns are present and can participate for 6 out of the total 8 out of the 8 weeks of academic research, then they should be good to go. And again, just please communicate. If you have this planned out from the beginning, it's best to let your mentor know, let SIP staff know, so we can be all on the same page, as opposed to Tuesday, emailing your mentor, hey, the RV is leaving today and I won't have internet, right? So just communication. It is also strongly encouraged that interns do not miss the first 2 weeks of the active research segment of the program. This is fully remote. There are some trainings that will be going on. It's not going to be a full 6-hour day. This is also dependent on projects. Some project mentors really do start a little earlier, giving readings to do, having their own trainings, but just it's an easing process, and it's fully remote before the kickoff and being in person or starting academic research. And then we have extracurricular offerings. These are various different types of optional weekly academic lectures, variety of disciplines, college and career preparation speakers, workshops, and social activities, just to make the program more than just individual research, working with your groups, really trying to have interns cross-pollinate, speak to other interns, spend time with other people their age, and just learn, have great opportunities. We have a couple of field trips planned, being in Santa Cruz, being in the Bay Area. Excited about all the things coming this year. And trying for all, but most of these will be accessible to all those who participate 100% online. Wonderful. SIP 2023 program costs. So when filling out your application, there is a $60 application fee. This is non-refundable. Once you get an offer to participate in SIP, there is a $400 deposit to hold your spot. And then once you are fully signed up and have gone through and are planning on participating in SIP, the remainder of the academic program fee is $3,600. There is financial assistance available, full and partial need-based scholarships. Let's talk about the SIP application. the application opens on March 1st, 2023, and the deadline is March 31st, 2023 at 5 p.m. Pacific time. There are 4 parts. Part 1, personal information. Part 2, 1 teacher recommendation, unofficial transcripts, grades. Part 3, you fill out more information about the availability, what you're planning on doing this summer. You want to really talk about yourself here, look at the subject areas that you want to participate in, what projects you're interested in, what you want to research, fill out a couple essays there, and then a short essay on what you like to get out of the SIP program over the summer. The 2 subject area essays are 250 words, and the short essay is going to be 500 words. And then part 4 is just certification, submission, and then you're good to go. Does the teacher for the letter of recommendation need to be a science teacher? Nope. It can be any teacher. It doesn't have to be a teacher if students are doing something else and they wanted to ask someone else for a letter of recommendation, but it helps to have an academic letter of recommendation. Okay. The 2023 program schedule. So we've talked about March. March is an exciting month. April 28th, that's when we will send out the first round of admission offers. This will be on a rolling basis. This is when we will begin. May 7th, that's the deadline for y'all to accept the admission offer and pay a deposit. And then May 14th, deadline for full payment plus a registration packet that we will be working together on. Program starts June 12th through June 23rd. These are the 2 remote research preparation weeks. The program kickoff will take place on Sunday, June 25th. The summer program will be active from June 26th to August 18th. And then we have our presentation day. This is our Super Bowl. Attending presentation day is expected even if the interns can't attend the final weeks of SIP due to an early school start. We understand that a lot of schools and school districts are starting earlier this year, early August, middle of August. The last week of SIP, week 10, is a final presentation practice week. So this tends to be a lighter week where students aren't doing active research. They're more finalizing their presentations, practicing their pitches, going through multiple rounds to really make sure they have a good 10-minute, 15-minute presentation for presentation day. So it is a lighter week. This tends to be more of a remote week. So if you are in school, times can be adjusted. You will work with your mentor, you'll work with your intern. The interns will work together to find a time. If it's after school, then that will be a solution to that problem. And also towards the end, towards the let's say it's SIP week 6 weeks or SIP week 9, week 8, and school starts early, then again, just communicating that with your mentor. Your mentor will make sure the planning for the program is less intensive during those parts where one can focus on school and balance SIP at the same time, if that's what the intern would like to do. Our school won't end till late June. How much time is required during the research preparation weeks? So that's perfectly fine. Again, just communicating that with your mentor and with us, the best part about a hybrid program, everything is recorded. So if you cannot be participating live, you can participate asynchronously, right? Sorry to repeat the question. No worries at all. How does some interns on a project are online versus others in person? Will entire project be online, in person? Will online, in person impact chances of getting into programs for certain projects? So the second question, essentially some projects can take place remotely and some projects can't. So if the mentor of a certain project chooses to have this as a in-person project, then interns who are able to be in person and choose that will most likely go into that project. Again, it's just matching interns to mentors and their projects. But if it is a hybrid project, then it should be the same experience as in person and a hybrid student would experience. So just having the camera, having the materials available to everyone, speaking to everyone in real time, participating in real time together, just going about it. All mentors go about projects in different ways, depending on their subject areas, depending on whether it's more hands-on, more research-based, more code-based, more mathematical. So this is a great first year of being remote, being hybrid, let's say hybrid. We'll find the things that work, we'll find the things that don't work. We'll try to do more of the things that work as opposed to the things that don't work. And really striving to make sure, or just given, or really striving to give an equal opportunity to both people in person and participating online. Will this be indicated on the projects? Yes. So on the projects that are listed, they will have whether it's a fully remote, fully in person, or hybrid. And there will be the availability that the mentor shows. And then if that matches up with the intern's availability, or if there's, they'll figure out the availability as well. How does one sign up to be a grad student mentor? Ah, perfect. Please, Ronaldo, please sign up. We are trying to get as many mentors as possible. If one project is filled up with interns, can an applicant be moved to another project? Yes. So we place the interns with the projects. So we're really striving to match what the intern applies to research, looking at their essays, looking at their grades, looking at what they've done in the past. Will they be a good match? Can they do a good job? Is this too advanced? Is this too basic? Really trying to ease all the synergies. Can you change projects if you don't like the project after trying it out? So when you get an admission letter, it will state the project that you are in. It is very difficult once the research program starts, just because all the projects have been placed in. So it is it's difficult to move students. If the mentors are willing, they can. It is just a lot on a mentor. They have a lot going on too. And if they can take on an additional student, then we would be able to make that change. But if not, then the student would just have to participate in the project that they were placed in. Is there a section in application for extracurriculars? Yes, there is. Summer project, do you do a project for a month? It is for this summer. All the SIP 2023 projects will take place over 10 weeks total, 8 academic weeks this summer. We have worked with many homeschool students in the past. Whatever equivalent of a transcript you would have, there is a place where you submit grades, but essentially the rest of the application, you would select homeschooled, and we would understand and go through your application under that notion. Do you need computer program experience to participate in biology related research? If so, what computer program would you need to know? So if in biology, if computer program experience is required, they will say it right under the project. Hey, this language is required, this language is recommended. But also there are a lot of projects, these are high school students. So if you do not know the language going into the project, you will learn over the summer, and you have the time to learn, work with other interns in your group, and it's a learning basis. So it's a great opportunity to learn and see what you need in order to be able to do research in biology. It depends on the project. Essentially, that's a short answer. Well, let's get back to the slides. That was a wonderful Q&A session. I'm going to take a quick sip. Okay. So daily life, getting to sip. So we have busing options. If you are in the Bay Area, or if you're coming from the South, Salinas, Watsonville, then we have buses that interns can use to get to UC Santa Cruz if they want to be in person and participate in SIP. So there are two lines, the North Silicon Valley Shuttle. This is coming from Mountain View from the Mountain View Caltrain station and Saratoga High School. Those are the two pickup locations. And then they'll be dropped off at 3 different locations at the UC Santa Cruz campus. There are 2 options for this route. It can be a daily weekday shuttle all summer long, or if students want to participate and be in the dorms 5 days a week, they can take the bus Monday morning, do their research, stay on campus all the way till Friday, and then come home and be home for the weekend. The South Shuttle, this is from Salinas in Watsonville and Gonzales. This is a once a week shuttle, no daily service. So students, if they want to participate and be in the dorms, they can come on Monday mornings, and then they'll be dropped off back home on Friday afternoons. Students can get to campus using a personal car or carpool. Again, we wouldn't want them driving from 9 to 4 because they should be doing their program activities. So please plan ahead for the 17 traffic and try to get to campus before 9. And then public bus. So if you live in Santa Cruz, bus pass, buses go up to UC Santa Cruz campus, and it's very easy. Does the shuttle also stop in Monterey? It's a very good question. I think Monterey is out a little farther away, but email us. We'll talk. We'll further talk. We'll talk further. So this is more information on the North Shuttle. So 2 pickup times, 2 locations, between 7:30 and 8 a.m. Drop-off times between 5 and 5:30. Again, depending on traffic conditions, this might be affected, but this is essentially what we're aiming for. The cost, the daily weekday shuttle, this was $200 a week in 2019, and the Monday a.m. to Friday p.m. shuttle was $65 a week in 2019. If you're on a needs-based scholarship, all transportation costs are waived. And these are the addresses for the Mountain View Caltrain station and Saratoga High School. The South Shuttle. This is coming from 3 pickup locations. Again, 7:30, 7:50, 8:15, and then dropped off at 5, 5:20, and 5:50. Again, signing up on a week-to-week basis. The cost for this shuttle was $65 a week in 2019. This is coming from Aliceville High School, Castroville Community Center, and Watsonville High School. Daily life. SIP dorm housing. So essentially SIP. In SIP, interns get to experience what living in the dorms is like as high school students. So getting that freshman college experience for a fun, shortened 8 weeks if you're planning on being there the entire time. You can participate for 2 weeks if you want to be in the dorms for 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 2 weeks in the beginning, 2 weeks in the middle, 2 weeks at the end. But just, again, being in the dorms. The cost is $600 a week for the weekday housing plan, Sunday dinner through Friday lunch, or $875 a week for the full 7-day housing plan. And this includes meals as well. We're using UC Santa Cruz's guidance on what to bring to the dorm. So essentially, what's in a room? You have your extra long twin bed and mattress, desk, chair, bookshelf, and a clothing storage unit. And you have a couple trash bags too. And then what would you want to bring? Bedding, have some fun Target shopping sessions, get some polka dot bedding. Okay, you want to bring your bedding, laundry items, hangers, alarm clock, bath materials, that type of stuff. Okay. Daily life. This year, our housing will be at the College 9, John R. L. Lewis College. From my understanding, so College 9 and College John R. Lewis College are side by side. They're close to each other, but we'll be in the College 9 dorms. They share a dining hall. I think we'll get to that next. Recreational activities in recreational activities for interns. You can see Raja here, a young Raja. They took a field trip to Google. This was at an observatory, and this was at the Santa Cruz beach. Very excited for these. Okay, dining hall. College 9 and 10 have the best dining hall on campus. It is so big. You can find anything in there. They have all different sites, all different sorts of cuisines. Um, nice floor to ceiling windows, salads, greens, parents. I like what I see. Dining hall menus, just catering for people with all different types of food preferences, allergies. Just there's something for everybody, and it's not limited, as we can see. Ooh, we got through 12:43. Thank you for 15 years of support. Very excited. Now we can get into it. Please, questions and answers. Feel free to speak up, unmute, or you can just continue on the chat. Ooh, okay. Ethan, what is the outside time commitment for the program? For example, is there outside research or homework not during 9 to 4? So essentially, it's a summer program. We would want to stay within the confines of 9 to 4 for specific research. Extracurricular activities can take place outside the 9 to 4 hours, but there isn't really homework. If you're not able to finish something and you want to work on it, then I would imagine there would be work, but things tend to get done through official SIP time. A good question, Ken. What is it? For the teacher recommendation in my school, the STEM teachers don't offer recommendation letters. So are we able to use recs from humanities teachers or counselors? Yes, absolutely. And just if you want to say that, say that. But also you don't need to. Every teacher recommendation is great. Will the actual research take place in UC Santa Cruz? Yes. Yes. The mentors are associated with UC Santa Cruz. If they are in person, they'll be at UC Santa Cruz. They can do research remotely as well, but UCSC focused. What is the acceptance rate? All right, I'm gonna do some quick math right here. Ah, 20 to 30%. Are we supposed to only have one recommendation letter or you can have multiple? One is required. There isn't really like additional recommendation letters or that there's one. One is the answer. Stat. Okay. Just one summer research project, or can someone spend multiple years on the same research project? Okay, so if you're a returning SIP intern and your mentor from the year prior is doing another project, then that would be an obvious way to do the same research. And I'm sure your mentor would love to have you back if you have a good relationship with your mentor. So that is one avenue. And then again, if you have a good experience and the mentor you had this year will be with SIP next year, that's another way to continue the research. But essentially what SIP 2023 is offering is for the 2023 year of SIP. Aren't really any promises for continued research, but the lovely mentors are going to be working on this research post SIP. So there's always an opportunity to stay connected, keep in touch with your mentors, just a valuable resource to have and to have been a part of and helped. Does being a freshman decrease your chances of getting in than being a senior, for example, because of class and knowledge experience? Excellent question. I didn't speak about this. So SIP, you want to be a rising freshman, rising sophomore, rising junior, rising senior. If you are on your way out, if you're a senior this year and you're going to be graduating and going out to college, then congratulations, you made it. But this is more, make sure you have more high school eligibility years left. Being a freshman does not decrease your chances. We look at all students, all ages, on an individual basis. Students that are sophomores and juniors do a great job just because they're a little bit more mature, but that doesn't mean that younger students can't learn. It's just there is that age difference, but we do have a lot of freshmen. We do have a lot of 14-year-olds. We do have a lot of 15-year-olds. So an early experience, they'll learn quick. They are children. They learn fast. Will applicants receive a letter if they were not selected? If so, when? Yes, they will. This will all be sent out through email, whether you got accepted, waitlisted, going through rounds, first round waitlist, second round waitlist. And unfortunately, if you were not accepted, we will also let you know through email. Is SIP rolling admission? Yes. The application deadline is March 31st. Thank you. Will previous research experience help getting to SIP? Yes, please talk about that in your essays. That's a great resource to have, and it would help immensely in SIP 2023, but it is not needed, right? If you don't have any experience, it's a great way to get experience. If you have previous experience, it's a great way to continue and grow and continue your path. Just to clarify, would a school counselor be eligible to write a rec? Absolutely. How many different projects are there per category? Again, Abhishek, a great resource would be to look at the 2022 research projects. In 2022, we had a total of 95 different projects available. This year, our goal is 100. My personal goal is 110, 115. So there are plenty of projects available. There tend to be a lot in astronomy, the engineering, biology. But then again, 2023, new year, we hope to get mentors and have a good supply in each subject area. Will be there. So there are no college credits for participation in SIP. SIP is its own program. It's a great way to get research experience. A lot of interns that participated in SIP have moved on to do good things and go to top schools, and it was a fundamental building block. So not necessarily getting college credit, but you get everything else. Can you apply if you're a rising senior? I apologize. Oh yeah. So if you're a rising senior, this is you're going to be a senior. So if you're a junior now and you still have a summer and you'll be back in high school, then yes. If that is the definition of a rising senior. If you're an outgoing senior, is there a waitlist for SIP? Yes, there is a waitlist for SIP. So essentially, last year we sent out admission letters to 400-ish students. We had 326 students participate. A lot of students apply to different programs as well. It's very competitive. So if somebody gets into SIP, somebody gets into a different program as well, and they choose to go to a different program, then they would turn us down, then another spot would be open, and we would reach out to our waiting list. So it's a process. It's a rolling basis. Please keep in touch. Please email us. Our emails, you will see it in the chat, ucsc-sip@ucsc.edu. sip-ucs. The email. We'll see it soon, but yeah, check out our website. A lot of stuff on social media. We try to update the website, but that's the best place to. We will update the website. That's the best place to go to see all the latest news. Will different projects have different acceptance rate? Yes, essentially, but doesn't really. Don't take that into consideration. Just apply to what have students, prospective SIP applicants apply to what they're interested in. Don't try to game the system, what they'll have a better chance of being able to participate in, because A, you want to get into SIP, but B, the most important part is actually doing the research, and you want to do something that you're interested in, something you want to learn about, as opposed to just getting in and just going through the program and not doing something you're interested in. If we are on the wait list, do we need to pay the $400 payment? Let's see. This would be after you get the admission. So if you're on the wait list, you would not pay the $400 payment. Did we talk about scholarships? I feel like I just said that there are full and partial based scholarships available. But at SIP, we really strive to make sure that finances are not a burden and get in your way of being able to participate in SIP. So in the application, if you would like to apply for a scholarship, it is right there within the application. You would submit your family's tax records, and we have a system of calculating whether we can provide financial assistance, but we've done a really good job in the past, and we hope to continue that for SIP 2023. Great question. Can interns change projects as the summer progresses? Or at what point would they need to make that change if not? Essentially, our goal is that they would not change projects. They have the option if they are placed in a project that they do not want before the summer starts to let us know, and we'll place them in something else. So it's not like it's one-sided. So let's have that conversation before. But when research starts, essentially, you would want to stick with your mentor for the 10 weeks, just because it's very difficult to switch. And in extreme cases, it is possible, but then it's just putting more on a mentor. If a mentor was planning on having 3 students, and then 3 weeks into the project, you want to get a 4th student, and you've already gotten through certain amount of content, certain amount of research with your 3 students. So just bringing someone in, it is difficult. It's not impossible, but we would try to avoid that. When will you be notified of your acceptance? The date was April 26th, I believe.
I can drop a link in the chat that has the key dates for 2023. That might clear up some of the questions.
Perfect. And also, this is straight on the SIP website. It's on the homepage. Scroll down a little bit and you'll find it. Can you talk about the GPA that you would typically look at? There's no specific like GPA, you have to hit the 4.0 moniker or not, but just the students that apply to SIP are very driven, and we would look at the entire application. So even if you're not confident in your GPA, there's the rest of the application there for a reason. But we are looking for the entire package, people that are interested. The essays are important, but they're not the only thing. Just do your best, apply to SIP, find a couple of projects that you're interested in, a couple subject areas, and then we'll try our best to work with you. Thank you for that link, Lindsay. A great way to learn more about SIP is to look at previous years. So you can see previous years, project descriptions, you can see previous years presentations on the website. They are password protected. So if you would like to see what the final result is, please email us at our email, and then we'll get that password over to you. Those are just behind a password for child safety. But yes, look at our online social media accounts. You can see highlights of years past, videos on YouTube, a lot of content out there, and a lot of great content coming up this year, which we're very excited about. How does it work if some interns on a project are online versus others in person? Will entire project be either online or in person? So this is very dependent on the mentor. All mentors will go about this differently. This being our first year of having the hybrid, we'll learn really quickly what works and what doesn't work. We're striving to make sure that we can give an equal experience to both sides, whether you're in person and remote. So that's kind of the messaging that we're giving out right now, and we'll be learning in real time, but that's our mission for SIP 2023. Will interns have a chance to publish their research? So from the jump, that is not the goal of SIP, just because it takes a lot of time and it depends on where the mentor is with their research and on an overall general scheme of things. In certain instances, interns have been included in research papers when they've done a really good job, things have worked out well, they've made important progress, it's been great. We've had interns present their research that they've done through SIP. So the opportunities are there. Let's just say there are no promises, but it's definitely a great way to A, experience, and B, be a part of the research that is happening. When students apply, can they choose 2 different research areas? Yes, they would choose 2. And they actually have the opportunity to choose 3 as well. They have the opportunity to write 2 essays about 2 different subject areas. And then the third, they would just pick something they're interested in, but they wouldn't necessarily need to write an essay about that. And we have placed people from the third research area before, so anything is possible. It is 12:58. Last 2-minute stretch. How many people are on this call? I cannot see. Let's go back to this. 45 people. Wow, on a Wednesday afternoon. Also depending on where everybody is on their time zone. This is wonderful.
There were over 50 actually, and I think I saw 53. Lindsay, did you
Wow.
see?
Yeah, that was my final tally too. 53, I think, is the highest.
This is wonderful. Thank you all for being here. This is great. Raja unfortunately could not be with us this week. He is on the previous 2 recordings. So if you would like to hear him speak, maybe just go to the video and listen to the parts he speaks at, but he gives good in-depth detail about certain research topics that he's better able to answer questions about, but also the Q&As at those videos. Those would be good resources or good parts of the video to see. Again, thank you everybody for being here. Please reach out with any questions. Keep checking our website. The application will open next Wednesday. We'll have sessions just like this every Wednesday till the end of March. So in March, we will actually have sessions where we help people, students, parents fill out their applications, have any questions. So there'll be more dedicated sessions as opposed to today just being an information and Q&A session. But we're all very excited. A return to 2023. Absolutely. Thank you everybody for being here. Do we have final 2 unanswered questions? Okay. School will end.
I might have answered these, but we'll see.
Okay. Late June. Essentially just communicate your schedule. When you apply, you say what weeks are you on, what weeks you are not on, so we would know that there are any time conflicts, and we'll do our best just to adjust your workload during that period, both at the beginning of the summer and at the end of the summer. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you so much, everybody. I'm gonna stop the recording now.